Okay, let's just get right into it. We're going to talk about a situation that is, frankly, terrifying. But here's the most important thing I want you to hear. This isn't just theory. This is a real, step-by-step game plan, something you can use right now to take back control.
And look, that's not an exaggeration. The stuff we're about to go through, it's more than just helpful information. It's a lifeline. Knowing these steps, maybe even before you or someone you care about needs them, can literally prevent months, maybe years of pain. Yeah, the stakes are super high, but you know what? So is your ability to fight back.
All right, Section 1. The first 60 minutes. The second you find out this has happened to you, your brain just goes into panic mode. That's totally normal. But we're going to take a breath, push that feeling aside for just a moment, and focus. Because what you do in this first hour, it is absolutely crucial.
Okay, let's walk through this. Step 1, and this is probably the hardest but most important rule. Do not contact the person who posted it. I know you want to, but all that does is tip them off. It tells them you've seen it, and it gives them time to spread it more or make copies. Don't do it. Step 2, you need to become a detective. Screenshot everything. The web page, the URL and the address bar, their profile, the timestamp, all of it is evidence. 3, open up a simple document, notes, Word, whatever, and just start pasting every single link you find. And 4th, take one of those screenshots and drop it into a reverse image search like Google Images. This is your secret weapon for finding copies you had no idea were out there.
And listen to me on this one. I need to be crystal clear. If anyone is demanding money from you for this, do not pay. Not a single cent. This has a name. It's called sextortion, and it is a serious federal crime. Paying them doesn't solve anything. In fact, it just paints a bigger target on your back. It tells them you're willing to pay, and they will just ask for more. Instead, you go straight to the FBI's website, ic3.gov, and you report it. Period.
Okay, so you've locked down the evidence, you haven't contacted the poster, you haven't paid anyone, you've survived the initial crisis. Now we shift gears. We go from defense to offense. Let's talk about the free tools you can use right now to start taking this stuff down. These are your first line of defense, and honestly, they can give you some quick wins, which can make a huge difference for your morale.
First up is stopncii.org. You absolutely need to go here first. It's a tool that works with Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, plus TikTok, Reddit, a bunch of the big ones. And here's the really brilliant part. You never have to upload the actual image to them. It works by creating a kind of digital fingerprint called a hash right on your own computer or phone. It then shares just that fingerprint with the platforms, and they use it to block any copies from being uploaded. It's amazing. Then there's Takedown, which is basically the same tech, but it's specifically for anyone who was under 18 when the image was taken. And please, don't try to go through this alone. That phone number for the CCRI Crisis Helpline is there for a reason. They are specialists, and they can help.
And here's some really good news. You now have a serious legal hammer on your side. It's a federal law called the Take It Down Act. And what this does is it puts the pressure on the platforms. It legally requires them to take down flagged content within 48 hours of you making a valid request. This is a huge deal.
All right, so those free tools are fantastic for the big social networks. But what about, the rest of the internet? The dark corners? Well, the good news is there's a playbook for that too. Think of this next part as our battle map. It can feel like a confusing mess out there, but we're going to make it simple. Basically, we can sort pretty much any website into one of 3 tiers. Tier 1, that's the easy stuff. Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, the big names. They have specific reporting forms for this exact problem, and they're usually pretty fast, like 24 to 72 hours. Tier 2 is for the big porn sites. They don't always have a simple form, so for them, we use a more formal legal tool called a DMCA takedown notice. That can take a bit longer, maybe a week or 2. Then you've got Tier 3. These are the nasty leak sites, the ones that are designed to be difficult. For them, we have to get creative. We send that DMCA notice not just to them, but to their web host. We report them to their payment companies like Visa or MasterCard. And, the big one, we get them kicked off of Google search.
So that brings us to these kind of scary-sounding legal terms, right? DMCA. De-indexing. They sound like you need a lawyer in a suit to handle them. You don't. I want you to stop thinking of them as legal hurdles and start thinking of them as power tools. They're levers that you can pull to get things done.
So what the heck is a DMCA takedown notice? It's actually really simple. Here's a fact that most people don't know. You own the copyright to a photo of yourself. You created it, it's yours. So, a DMCA notice is just you, the copyright owner, sending a formal letter to a website saying, hey, that image you have on your site, that's mine. You don't have my permission to use it, and under the law, you have to take it down. That's it.
And no, you don't need to hire a lawyer to write one. Seriously, it's basically a fill-in-the-blanks form. It has 6 simple parts. You put your name and contact info. You describe the picture or video. You give them the exact URL where it is. Then you paste in 2 little legal sentences that are standard, and you sign it. You can find templates for this online. It's a checklist, not a legal thesis. You can totally do this.
But what about those really awful Tier 3 sites? The ones that are hosted in some country that doesn't care and they just ignore your emails. Okay, for them, we have a different plan. It's like this. If you can't get the billboard taken down, you can at least remove all the roads that lead to it. We're going to make that content invisible.
And the way we do that is called de-indexing. It means we go straight to the source of all traffic, the search engines. You go to Google's Legal Tools page, you select the option for non-consensual explicit images, and you file a report. Google is very good about this. They usually handle it in just a day or 2. And think about it. If a web page doesn't show up in Google, does it even really exist? For 99% of people, the answer is no. This one move can completely starve a site of its audience.
Okay, we have gone through a lot of tactics, a lot of tools. But this last part, this might be the most important of all. Because this whole process, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you have to protect your own mental health to get across the finish line.
First rule for your sanity, do not Google yourself over and over again. I know the urge is overwhelming, but every time you do it, you're just re-traumatizing yourself. It spikes your anxiety, and it actually doesn't help you get it taken down any faster. If you must check, give yourself a rule. I will check once a day at 5 p.m., and that's it. Then you have to force yourself to walk away.
And we're going to circle all the way back to the very first thing we said, because it's that critical. Do not engage with the person who did this. Don't send them angry messages. Don't try to reason with them. Don't negotiate. Any contact is a win for them. It feeds their ego, it gives them power, and it might even make them angry enough to spread it to more places. Just silence.
And finally, and if you hear nothing else, please hear this. This is not your fault. You did nothing wrong. Someone else made a choice. They chose to violate you. They chose to break your trust. They chose to break the law. The shame and the blame belong 100% to them, not you.
I want to leave you with this because it is so important. We've all heard that saying, right? Once it's on the internet, it's there forever. In this case, that is a myth. It is just not true. It might feel that way, but with the right game plan, with these tools and a little bit of persistence, the vast majority of this stuff can be removed. There is always hope.
So here's the bottom line. You have tools, you have legal rights, and you have a clear plan. You are so much more powerful in this situation than you probably feel right now. So the only question left is, who do you know that needs to hear this? Because sharing this guide, that's how we protect each other.